Let me bang. I do let you bang. Hey, let me bang you, James, man. I let you bang. I let you bang. Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Why did this suck?
Hey, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. Me, Adam Hunter, here with Sean McCorkle. Unfortunately, Greg Wilson can't come. He's got a family issue. Hope everything's okay. Definitely come see him this weekend, though. He's going to be at Laughs in Tucson. Come see him, Laughs, Tucson. My wife we got a new puppy. I told her not to get this puppy. So it's only here for it's super cute. It's only here for a week, and then her mom's taking it.
You didn't pay $10,000 for it, did you?
No, $600, but we're getting reimbursed from her mom. But it's super cute, but it's already pooped everywhere, pissed everywhere. And then normally I 2 hours before the podcast, I sit there and I plan everything we're going to talk about in 3 hours. My daughter was sick today, so I had to stay home, and she's not letting me. Daddy, sick as in running around. She has fever, but she's running around, dancing, making me play with her, toothbrush idol. One thing, making her food. I got to make the dinosaur chicken nuggets. I got to feed it to her. I got to race them. It's the whole thing. So we're going to wing it.
She's got the Saturday night fever.
So we're going to wing it. We're going to wing it today on the podcast.
But, if you want to save time planning for the show next time, just write down leukemia, Brendan Schaub, and Don Frye. That's all you got to plan for. By the way, Don is saying he doesn't have the link yet, just in case you didn't see it.
Oh, God. I just gave him the link. Don is so. It's in the same thing, right? Literally right above him. No.
No, because we want to talk about Greg not being on or whatever.
All right, here we go. So here we go. Boom. All right, so here's the link for Don. Hopefully he figures it out. I honestly think that if Don had no Wi-Fi and just talked, it would be just as good as connection.
Be able to hear him as well.
Yeah, if he just actually spoke up.
He's using a telegraph. I saw on Facebook the other night a girl trying to take a picture with Drake's dad and posted it on there.
Yeah.
And Drake's dad's 150 years old. And I said, I remember that guy. He used to call me on his telegraph, and she didn't like it. But
oh, God. Yeah, people get it.
Good joke.
Dumbest thing. I think it's a good joke. Did you watch any of the fights over the weekend?
I watched, I want to say, the last 3 of the UFC.
Yeah.
I think, I did watch the last 3. I can't remember who was in it, but I do remember watching the last 3.
Well, we should actually talk about this now because I know Don didn't watch them. So rather than have Don just sit here and just, talk about fights that he didn't watch. Oh, here he is. Maybe he did watch them. What are the chances he watched the fights? I would say slim to none.
They were on ESPN Plus, so probably not.
Yeah. Don, do you watch the fights over the weekend? No. All right. Well, there was a couple good ones. That guy Jamal Hill. That kid's good. He hits hard, and and I remember everybody was on the other guy's dick, oh, this is the next big thing, and this is the guy, because he was just knocking everyone out left and right. And then it's one of those things where once one guy figures you out, it seemed like everyone started figuring him out.
I did lose money on that fight because I bet
Johnny Walker?
I bet Jamal would lose.
Really?
Yeah. Because the odds, I just like the odds. The odds were so high, for him to win, or they were so, so in favor of him. I like to go for the upset every now and then, and I was wrong.
It wasn't just that he got knocked out; it was the way he got knocked out. Don, where are you, by the way, Don?
In my bedroom, laying on my bed. Best place to get reception. Why?
Oh, okay, because I'm hearing some kind of feedback, but it's all right. But Sean, that is the biggest drink I've ever seen. How big is that?
Well, it's mostly ice, but it's coffee. If I don't drink 60 ounces of coffee now, I don't have the motivation to do anything because my back feels like the devil's raping my spine 24 hours a day. So, Don,
you definitely have the dog with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any way you cannot play tug of war with a dog during the podcast?
I'm trying. I talked to her before I explained to her I can't play right now, and she's not really accepting, the explanation. But
yeah, dude.
Well, you know what they say: bitches never listen. So.
Never
yeah.
listen. So yeah,
Sure.
this guy, Jamal Hill. I mean, Johnny Walker just got. I don't know if his chin's bad or what. 'Cause I think his chin's okay. He just got hit the wrong way on the top of the head. It was on the temple. You ever get hit on the temple, Sean?
No, I've seen a lot of guys get knocked out that way, though. That's how Lesnar knocked out Randy Couture. I've seen a lot of guys. Somehow when they bend your neck like that, when you get hit toward the top of the head, I think it hits some nerves or something. I've seen a lot of guys get knocked out that way. Johnny Walker, man, looked like a world beater 5 fights ago.
Yeah.
When he first came to the UFC, man, he looked amazing. A lot bigger than everybody else, fast, athletic, everything. I don't know, man.
I think his confidence was gone, and I think people said he was like uncoachable, and I think he the fame got to him, or who knows what it was. But Jamal Hill, shout out to him. Parker Porter won that fight. This dude has the biggest boobs I've ever seen from a white guy. Like he just had to make him wear a bra, and it was a close fight. I could have went either way. Kyle Dacus, he won by Darce, beautiful Darce over Jamie Pickett. Jim Miller. I mean, just when I think it's over, I'm like, how many fights? He's 34-16. He not only won, but he won amazing. He looked incredible. And he's a nice guy because he was mad at the ref for not stopping it earlier, which I thought was pretty damn cool. A lot of guys don't have that kind of concern for their opponent.
He might have been so excited to win, he wanted it over as fast as possible. I don't know. I was just sad to see he's going to be delayed getting to that magic 21, 21 loss mark that everybody tries to get to. But no, I was happy. I did win on that one. I like the odds on that one too, so I bet Jim Miller, and I won on that one. The only one I won.
Don, you ever have a fight where you were mad at the ref for not stopping it earlier?
Yeah.
Against who?
McCarthy stopped the game UFC 10, and he's a massive.
I'm getting every other word. Is there any other spot you go in your house where you get better reception? I'm not trying to be a dick at all. I actually want to hear this.
How about now? Is this better?
Yeah, so much better. So what were you saying? UFC 10 against who?
Yeah, against Mark Hall. First round. Because I was just beating him up, pounding his ribs. And I kept telling John to stop the fight, and he wouldn't do it because, like I said, he's a masochist. He likes watching people get beat up. He's kind of a sick individual.
Yeah, I mean,
I was hoping they would stop my fight with Saul Paley earlier, but I was the one getting punched. So.
Really?
Yeah, no, that guy he whipped my ass. I wish I had an excuse. He just picked up and slammed me and punched me in the face a whole bunch. I was like, all right, well, this must be how it felt for everyone else.
Yeah, the Joaquin Buckley fight, who actually came into the octagon. Hey, Violet, I got to do this. Came in the octagon with the guy from the Detroit. She's playing the flute. I love her so much. So this guy, Don, I don't know if you watched the video. Some guy from Detroit. The Detroit Urban, survival technician. It's this guy who teaches these tactics. He teaches these things that it looks like 99% of them don't work. It's like how to stop a bullet with teeth kind of a thing. I mean, it's ridiculous. Even that judo throw we did, and it went viral because everyone was like, come on, you're going to get people killed, la, 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 la. But to his credit, man, he anyone that says you're full of shit, he invites them over to train with him. And then he makes a video, and then half the guys like Snoop Dogg or whatever end up going, this guy's legit. I thought he was full of shit. But
if anybody knows martial arts, it's Snoop Dogg. Everybody knows it's legit or not.
Somebody who's never fought before in their life, and they have some guy who trains in anything. You sound legit.
Yeah, of course, when you're using rubber bullets and, the whole thing. So Joaquin Buckley brought this guy with him to the octagon. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And I like Joaquin Buckley, but I'm like, what is this guy going to say? And he won. He actually won with this guy. in his corner. The other guy was just loading up on every punch. Big guy, but
Wait, what round would it go?
it went the distance. It was a close fight.
Okay, so what was the guy seeing in between rounds? So what kind of advice was he giving him?
Well, I mean, the UFC really dropped the ball on this one because it didn't go to the corner cam. But people that were there said he was yelling spinning wheel kick. He just kept yelling spinning wheel kick the whole fight.
Probably should have tried that.
That's tells you what all he knows.
It was crazy. So now I got a daughter playing the flute. I got a puppy that's gonna cry the whole time if I'm not with him. I got Don with OK service. Greg's family member is like, this is whatever. This is I feel a lot worse for Greg than me, to be honest. But Jessie Jess lost her fight. Man, she locked up with a judoka. The girl's a black belt in judo, high level, and she went in like the clinch with her. She then got like head and armed, and then just got beat up that way. It was probably the worst possible thing you could have done with a judo black belt. And I felt bad because I like Jessie Jess. I wanted her to win, but geez.
Kind of, don't you think high-level female fighter is a little bit of an oxymoron? But I don't know. That's like she's really good at judo, not compared to a guy, but compared to other women.
Did you ever have a fight, Sean, where you're like, don't do this with the guy, and then you did exactly what you shouldn't have done?
When I was fighting Stefan Struve, all I thought the whole fight is as long as I don't get tired, I won't lose. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I kept thinking, as long as I don't get tired. I started getting tired 30 seconds in. And I was like, why am I getting tired? That's the only way I'm going to lose. 45 seconds in, I'm really getting tired. You know, and then I was exhausted 3 minutes in. But that's all. My only focus was he'll only beat me if I get too tired to fight. So, and I was right.
What about you, Don? Don? All right. One time I fought a bear, and the bear said, I said, I'm not going to look up with the bear. Next thing you know, by the way, there's a 500-pound bear. You hear about this bear? And they call him Hank the Tank. He's 500-pound black bear in Lake Tahoe who's been he's broken into 28 homes. And he goes in there and just eats everyone's food. And the residents were like, he's actually a pretty nice bear. All he does is eat, and he doesn't make rude faces. I don't know what a rude face. I don't know but now that there might. What was that?
Or anything like that.
Oh, dude, it was like the funniest thing. Now that it's the thing, they might euthanize it because they hit him with like paintballs stuff. They hit him with like a bunch of like rubber, but whatever, and it doesn't affect. He's 500 pounds, and he's like addicted to pizza now. And so now there's a whole thing now about whether or not they can, people want to save Hank the Tank. They put a bear trap on it, but then someone wrote bear killer on the bear trap, so they had to get rid of the bear trap because someone spray painted bear killer.
I think it's interesting the media didn't start talking about what color he was until he started breaking in houses. I had to throw that in there.
Chaz Skelly won. Super happy for Chaz. He's 19-3. He looked amazing. I'm not sure why he's retiring, but he said he's getting into roofing. He's like, after his fight, he's like, I got to make some real money. So I got my roofing business. It was like, dude, after he won in the octagon, he says this. It was like,
well, his daughter fights Jake Paul. Those are your only two options to make a living outside the UFC.
Did he give the name of his roofing company?
He did not. He did not give the name of his roofing company. I mean, he said basically, hit me up if you need a roof. He might have actually. He's a pretty smart guy. So
I used to own a roofing company. It's amazing because you really do make like $2,000 or $3,000 a roof, and you just hire Mexicans to do it who work for almost nothing. So like I literally couldn't hammer a nail, and I had a roofing company.
Why did you stop?
Because by the time the third person didn't pay me, they just said, well, what are you going to do? The roof's already on, and I had to send my Mexicans back to throw bricks through their daylight window, like their daylight basement windows, and ruin their house. I realized I was going to go to jail if I kept it up because people think, if you're in the construction business, like if you do a room addition, people think once it's there, what are you going to do if I don't pay you? There's nothing you can do, once it's already done. They thought, but I would have my guys take it back off or burn their house down. And I knew I was going to jail. If not, like when they called the cops on me one time, I had my guys taking the roof back off a guy's house, like literally paying them to go take it back off.
And the Mexicans were cool enough to they were like, we'll throw bricks through the windows. They didn't.
Well, I would tell them, I can't pay you. He didn't pay me. I said, so whatever you guys need to do. And before I know it, the guy would be calling me like, you guys threw bricks through my windows out here. I'm like, well, that's what happens when you don't pay guys that aren't here legally, So. Yeah, that happened like 2 times, and I had them try to take the roof off one time. But like 3 out of my first 7 jobs, they just said they weren't going to pay me. When it was over, they didn't like it. And I was like, what do you mean you don't like it? Well, I just don't like how it looks. I'm like, you picked it out. Well, my wife didn't like the color, so we're just not paying you. I was like, no, you think I can't do anything because it's already on, but you're wrong.
So you came and took the roof back off?
Oh, one of them, yeah, that was the last one. That's when I realized the cops came. I realized I was going to go to jail because it's they had no reason to not pay me. They got to pay like half down, and then so they'll still owe you like $6,000, and then they'll just be like, my wife didn't like it. Don't come back out here. I'll call the cops. And I'm like, no, you owe me the money. And they're like, well, sue me. And I'm like, I'm not suing you. I'm not paying $5,000 for a lawyer to collect $6,000. So. So I just told the Mexican guys I couldn't pay them. And then 2 days later, a guy calls me. It's like, so you threw bricks through my windows. I was like, I didn't do anything. I just told my Mexican guys I couldn't pay them because you didn't pay me. And so it looks like until that guy paid me. And then I told him I'd pay for the windows and I didn't. But after he paid me, but then it happened again. Same thing, had to damage his property. The third time, I just told guys, go back, take it back off. I'll pay you double. Just take the roof back off, And then they called the cops when they were out there. It was bad news. So
speaking of Mexicans, I'm opening up tonight in Riverside, California for the Red Hot Cholo Peppers. It's a Mexican cover band of the Chili Peppers. Very excited about this. By the way, so I had a show in Alaska over the weekend, and I was in Anchorage and in Wasilla, and nice people. I mean, just really, really nice people, but drunk. People just drunk. People in Alaska can drink. So the first show, this girl and guy are making out the whole time, right? Just making out like within 5 minutes. And I'm like, wow, they're definitely cheating on whoever. I mean, because they have limited time. The girl gets up, does like a weird dance, takes off her bra, but not even like a bra. It was like a tube top, and throws it at me while I'm on stage. But I don't know what she's throwing. I think she's throwing like a bottle. So I like whatever. She hits the guy in the front row with the bra, like on his head, who's like on a date. So he gets up, angry, takes the bra and slams it down. He's like, what the fuck? And wanted to fight the guy, the girl's boyfriend. This is during the show. So I had to like break up almost Roadhouse, right? So that was nuts. Then the host of the show shows up. The guy looks like a 6'2" Ronald McDonald with like brown hair, a fanny pack, and like he's wearing like a Sergio Tacchini basically outfit, like a tracksuit. Shows up with a bag of weed that was like the biggest bag I'd ever seen. He's like, hey, man, I got this at work today. You want some? I was like, hopefully you don't work at like a preschool. Like what? So that was crazy. And then
is weed legal up there?
Yeah, weed is legal. Then I do a joke about how, my wife tried to put her finger up my butt. And I was like, hell no, that's a gateway drug. One day it's a finger, and next you know you're a vegan.
All right.
So then this lady goes, that's not true. I put my finger up his ass every night. So like now everyone's just staring at this guy. Like knowing that, Sean, has your girl ever tried to put her finger up your butt during sex or no?
Only when I requested it. No, it's that's you're in dangerous territory at that moment. Like before you know it, like there's another guy in your bedroom, like you got to be careful.
What's up, people? Football might be over for the season, but basketball is in full steam for both pro and college hoops. From the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Now head over to their website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use promo code CLNS50 to get started. It's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage. And it's the best in the business, okay? From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts. Don, do you ever have a girl put a finger up your butt?
Desire for it either.
What was that?
No, and I have no desire for it either.
Oh, you know what desire
Never.
for it. Yeah, I mean, has a girl ever like tried, ever tickled back there, kind of?
Tickled?
I just slapped the handle. Usually when when they're playing with your asshole, it means they want you to go after their asshole, you know?
Got it.
Don's like, no, don't do that. I'm ticklish.
I feel like Don's asshole hair has like a mustache back there. Like there's like you have your hair actually has a full mustache in your ass.
Like a rat's nest.
Dude, then after the show, these two girls came up to me, right? Because I was messing them the whole show, and one girl was like, "Hey, what are you doing afterwards? Come party with us." I'm like, listen, I'm married, and plus I have an audition for a movie. I got to memorize these lines, and she's like, so the girl goes, "Oh, listen, I'm married too, and my husband's at home in Washington. It's not like that. We just want you to party." And I'm like, no, but that's a terrible sales pitch. Like,
right.
you should have been like, we'll both blow you or something. Like then I still would have said no, but you would have had a better shot, you know. But why is she even offering me that information, right? Like that's a girl who's thinking about cheating. Right? If a girl says to you, "Listen, I'm not trying to sleep with you tonight. I'm married. Let's go party." Do you think that's a girl that wants to bang?
Well, under the assumption they lie 24/7, which they do, I always expect it to be the opposite of what they're actually saying. So whatever the opposite of what a woman's telling you is probably what really is going on.
Yeah, right. By the way, did you guys see the new Victoria's Secret model has Down syndrome?
Oh God.
Yeah. So it's like a lot. It's people. It's very controversial right now. I mean, people say it's great because it's like equality, and you know you're letting people in, which I think is great too. Other people are saying like you're taking advantage of the handicapped, mentally handicapped, and you know.
Yeah, it's the fat ugly women there saying that, right?
Right. Well, but as a kid, I used to like masturbate to Victoria's Secret, catalogs all the time. Like, like my stepmom's catalogs back when I was in high school. Like if I was like turning through it and there was a girl with Down syndrome, like I wouldn't like I
you would jack off furiously.
No, I would skip the page, right? But like, right.
Save it for later.
But then I'm like,
save it for your face.
But then, are you discriminating by not? I mean, who knows? I guess it's a very touchy subject. But I just wanted to get your.
I can't believe Don named his dog after a Victoria's Secret model.
What, Down? Is that what it?
Remember, no, he named his dog Syndrome so he could yell at it to get down.
Oh, come on, that's hilarious.
He did. So
did really?
Yeah,
really?
Isn't that what happened, Don?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, I named it Joe Biden. It's synonymous for Down syndrome.
Joe Biden. Okay, all right. So why did I even bring this up? The thing is, I like went through this thing, and I'm like, well, I wonder what you guys think of it. All right, so now, what are we talking about, people? Fights. Did you watch the bare knuckle boxing at all?
I watched Mike Perry's fight. Yeah.
Pretty good fight. So, Don, if you missed it, Mike Perry fought Julian Lane. Julian Lane is like famous for being like called the let me bang bro guy. Let me bang, like during the Ultimate Fighter, he started crying because he wanted to punch someone so bad and he couldn't do it. He kept yelling, "Let me bang, bro! Let me bang, bro!" And became like a huge meme. Well, now he fought Mike Perry.
Tase me, bro.
What did you say?
Don't tase me, bro.
Yeah, basically, don't tase me, bro. But it was like, let me, bro, right? So then he fought Mike Perry, who has like tattoos on his face, who just is a guy that just like is up for he's almost like a 2022 version of Phil Baroni in some ways, where it's just going to be a punch for punch, a war, but with like less wrestling skills. I mean, I would say Baroni was a better fighter than Mike Perry. A prime Baroni was better than Mike Perry, I think. I mean, a prime Baroni went, the distance with Matt Lipman and knocked out Dave Monet, who, wasn't Monet like he like beat the champ at one point? I mean, right? I mean, Perry never got that high, but
it's hard to say with the level of competition though, because I think Perry was fighting a lot better guys than at this point than Baroni was back then. But if he has Baroni's staying power, he'll probably be brain dead the way he fights by the time he's 40, because that dude goes at it, man. That Mike Perry, that dude ain't no joke, man. That dude, he will take 3 to give you 1 and stay in there all night, man.
Yeah, so he won the fight. It was close, very close. And he called out Thiago Silva, who's the champ, which that is going to be.
That can't be right. Thiago Silva?
Thiago Alves.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. Thiago Alves, who's the bare knuckle champ right now. That's going to be a fight. And then also on the card, Chad Mendes, who looked great, but he fought a guy with only one name. I guess now he's going to move on. The guy's name was Famez, Famez. I guess he's going to move on to a guy with two names. But, yeah, Mendez look good. I mean, Mendez also looked like he's been hitting the gym pretty well. Or or not being tested by USADA, one of the two. I don't know. He's no longer restricted by USADA or I thought it was awesome for him to get a win against. I mean, there's some guys out there that are just known, or some people known by one name, like Cher, Madonna, Ali, Fangs. People like, that group of people. And then I'll tell you what the best fight of the week was, which no one saw because it was on Bellator and they don't believe in promoting fights. But the best fight was Neiman Gracie fought Logan Storley, and that was a war. It was a guy who was an amazing at jiu-jitsu versus a 4-time All-American wrestler, and they were going back and forth, just punching the whole night. Logan won, but it was a great fight. If you guys want to watch a good fight, a good replay of a good fight, watch that fight.
Isn't it crazy when they get a really good wrestler versus a really good jiu-jitsu guy that they box each other? It's like both of them just accepted. Like the jiu-jitsu guy's like, well, he's just going to take me down and hold me down. Then the wrestler guy's like, well, he might submit me, so let's just punch each other in the face. Like,
yeah, I know. Especially when they're both that high level. Like when you got like a Damian Maia versus a decent wrestler, Maia's like, please take me down.
Yeah.
They're both at like super high level. Yeah, it's.
But when he's fighting Ben Askren, he's like, please take me down.
Well, Ben almost won that fight. That was a good fight. Yeah. That was actually a really, really good fight. So this week, Mousasi is fighting Austin Vanderford in Ireland, in Dublin, Ireland. Mousasi is 48-7-2. Austin is 11-0. Austin's known for, banging Paige Van Zandt. Who do we like in this fight?
Me?
Yeah, Sean.
I think Mousasi will win, but I'm pulling for Austin.
I hope Austin wins. I think he'll win. Mousasi's got to get old sometime, right? I mean, he can't just keep.
Yes.
Everyone.
What is he? He's like late 30s now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's probably late 30s. By the way, Don, there's a big thread right now in the underground about whether or not you would beat Tito Ortiz in your prime. Would you like to weigh in on this? That's it? Hello?
Yeah.
So
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So you would have won that fight, right?
I was beating guys twice my size. I've done it my whole career. I mean, come on.
Do you want me to read you some of the comments?
Yeah, sure.
All right, hold on. Let's see. Don Frye, Tito Ortiz. Let me see if I can find it. Most people say that you'd win. Although some people, I think that they just everyone always remembers, like, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy sometimes, like, people don't really, really know. So Don Frye, Tito Ortiz, where is it? I saved it for you.
You know what's crazy is a lot of people don't know that Don wrestled at a much higher level than Tito did in college. Like, much higher, So, like, people don't realize, like, Tito's not going to out-wrestle him or take him down, and how the stand-up – I like Tito, but the stand-up ain't going to go his way either, So there's no way he beats Don.
Well, they also had you versus Igor
Volchanson?
Yeah. What do you think about that one, Don?
Oh, he had me? I thought you were talking to Sean.
No, you, Don.
What's that? I thought, I think it was a good fight. I don't know why that was never made, I think both those would have been a good fight 20 years ago. Wish it would have been made back then.
What do you think would be a harder fight for you, Tito or Igor?
Oh, hell. Tito is obviously in better shape, better conditioned athlete, but Igor could throw some punches, man. I mean, he had a alpha fist on him, and had a good chin. So
Igor was undersized, man, but he wasn't very big, but he fought with the big boys, man. So he could fight.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's see what we got. Don Frye, Tito.
You remember Igor beat Mark Kerr back in the day. They called it a no contest, but he was beating him in the fight.
Yeah, you guys are the legends, man. I mean, people don't. It's not even like. I was watching like this week's. All right, so Tito Ortiz, Mark Coleman. Man, why is that? All right, old timers. Frye versus Tito. Tito looks slow and weak. Frye by TKO. Frye would win today, and Frye in his prime would have crushed Tito in his prime. Frye by old man mustache beatdown. Frye would win because of the simple fact he's been touched by God, Mark Coleman, 2 times. That alone by sheer osmosis, Frye is better. He goes, Frye has a funny one. Okay. So here you go, Violet. Here you go. That was from 2009. So I guess there's like a bunch of them. Don Frye. Hold on. What is I guess someone took the thread down. That pissed me off.
It was too controversial.
I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
Once they found out what Don's dog name was, they wanted to cancel him, and someone took the thread down.
That's crazy. Hold on. Let me see. Don Frye versus Igor. All right. So Don Frye versus Igor. Who would have won this fight? Frye did better against Mark Coleman, but Igor did better against Gilbert Ivel. Frye made quicker work out of Gary Goodrich the first 2 fights, but he also got knocked out by Goodrich. I give Frye the edge. I think he gets past Igor's strikes and dominates him on the ground. Don, do you agree with that? Don? All right. Next
Did I lose?
Yeah. Don's issue is that he loved a good barn burner. Igor, on the other hand, has burned down a lot of those barns. Frye had a hell of a chin back in the day, and he displayed it when Tank turned his face into mush. I think that's the way a fight between Igor and Don would have turned out, except Don getting laid out. Ooh, so that's somebody saying you wouldn't have won. Don, do you want to comment?
I'd like to think that they're wrong,
And then somebody else wrote, except Tank had more power in his punches than Igor. If Frye can survive Tank's onslaught, there's no reason he couldn't survive Igor's onslaught. Don. Oh, come on. Give me some good connection, man. I'm about to have a meltdown. I swear to God. I'm just trying to have a good show. Don, please. How come you do a show with other people and it's the greatest connection ever? And with me, Don, just yell. Just yell. Just hello?
I am yelling. I am yelling.
All right, okay. All right. So
I'm saying that Tank was hell on wheels for 45 seconds, and then after that, it was all over for him. But Igor, he would go a lot longer than Tank would. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Tank was like ahead of his time, I think. Tito Ortiz versus Mark Coleman. Who do you think would have won that one?
I'd have to go with Mark. Just simple fact, Mark's a much better athlete, much better wrestler. But then again, Tito did have conditioning, where Mark never had any conditioning. So, if Mark finishing before the 7 or 8 minutes, it would be Tito.
So, all right. I still can't believe I can't find the Tito versus Frye thing. I mean, that really bothers me. I freaking old timers match Frye versus whatever. Fuck it.
I got a good Mark Coleman story real quick if you want to hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah.
So before I make my UFC debut, I knew about 12 weeks out I was going to be fighting the UFC, and then I found out I was going to fight Mark Hunt like 3 weeks later than that. So I got like 2 months to think about it. So I'm stressing 24 hours a day about it, man, like thinking what an opportunity it is, to fight someone with that big of a name in your UFC debut, especially a winnable fight for me, I thought. I was the only one that thought that, but I didn't know. So I saw Mark. He was cornering a guy to fight I was at, and I went up and talked to him and said, hey, man, I never met him. I don't mean to bother you, but getting ready to make my UFC debut in a couple of months here, and I can't quit thinking about it like 24 hours a day. Like I dream about it, not in a good way, like, stress about am I going to make weight, how's the fight going to go, this and that. And he goes, the thing that always helped me is you got to remember in a fight like that, especially your debut, whether you win or lose isn't going to change your life that much. He said, you lose, you'll get another shot. If you win, they're going to give you another fight. But either way, it's not like you're going to be famous overnight or change your entire life. And I was like, okay, cool. So that gave me comfort. And then when I went out and beat Hunt in a minute, it changed my life overnight. And I had like 10,000 Facebook friend requests the next day, 50,000 followers on Twitter. And so I saw Mark again at a UFC event, and I went up and told him that. He said, I remember talking to you. I said, yeah, you remember how you said it wouldn't change my life that much? He was like, yeah. I said, dude, you were way off. I said, like, it changed my life completely. And he, I don't think he got it. Like, thought it was funny. But I don't know.
That's hilarious. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so some fights this week, okay? fights this week. All right. Oh, sorry for this podcast, guys. I apologize.
I say that every week. People ask me about.
I'm trying. I got it's hard. I didn't know I'd have the baby at home and yada yada yada. But you gotta just roll with the punch, right? All right. So this week, this UFC card, the main event is going to be good because it's Islam versus Bobby Green. So I'm excited about that. But I don't know, man. Bobby Green said he got up to 190, and the week after his fight, now has to make 155 in 2 weeks, or got up to 190. That's too much. I think that he's going to – because Bobby Green's known for his cardio. If you're losing 35 pounds in, 2 weeks, your cardio's going to be shot. So I like Islam in this fight all day long. I like Islam anyway, but now I really like Islam in this fight. Sean.
Yeah, I don't know how he's 190, man. If his fight was on like a week or two ago, I was a heavyweight and I would cut 25 pounds or so, but that was hard for me to walk around 25 heavier than what I had to make, and I was cutting from 290. So I don't know how a guy's 190 going to 155 or how he got to 190 after he made 155 in a week. That doesn't make any sense to me. But unless he cut a shitload of weight before his last fight, like crazy weight.
Yeah, that's what happened. So we like Islam in this fight?
I can't see. Yeah, that would really surprise me, man. It's for some reason I thought that Bobby would talk like a rapper or something. Like I saw him, he's like the most well-spoken, intelligent-sounding guy ever in his interview. But when I watched him fight, I figured he would sound like Lil Wayne, like when he in an interview. That really threw me off.
Yeah, he just curses the whole time. Don, who do you like in this fight? All right.
Me.
So also on this card is my man Terrence McKinney, who was tased like 3 times during LSD. It went wrong. He was in college. He did acid. He went to jail, turned his whole life around, won his last fight in 7 seconds. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. His last 3 fights have 7 seconds. Before that, it was 1 minute, 12 seconds. Before that, it was 1 minute and 6 seconds. Although this time he's fighting someone really good. Not that those guys weren't good, but he's fighting a guy who Fares Ziam, who's 12-3, but he's also on the couple fight winning streak. That's going to be a good fight. I'm excited about that. Have you heard of LSD, Sean?
No, man, I don't mess with any drugs at all. Never did. I don't like to drink either. That's why I get so offended when doctors insinuate I'm a drug addict when I say my back hurts. I'm like, really? I don't even drink, smoke weed. I don't do anything. But I'm just a drug addict. So.
The best fight, I think, on this card is going to be Joel Alvarez, who's 19-2, who just beat Thiago Moses. He beat another guy, Alexander. He beat Joe Duffy, who's the guy who beat Conor McGregor. And he's won his last 4 fights. He's fighting a guy named Arman Sarkian. He's from Armenia. He beat Christos Giagos by TKO in the first round. He also beat Matt the Steamroller Frivola. He beat Davi Ramos, and he beat OAM. His only loss is to one of his losses is to Islam back in 2019. So that's probably gonna be fight of the night right there. But yeah,
I'll tell you what, when you hear the lineup on these stacked cards, it's easy to see why they let Mike Perry go and Chad Mendez and people like that, because they've got all these super famous, well-known guys they're stacking their cards with. Like if your claim to fame is you beat Bobby Sanchez in M1, like, oh, that's the guy that beat Bobby Sanchez. Like, oh, that guy, yeah. All the stars are lined up on this card. So.
Yeah. It's crazy. Hey, Violet, can you take that in the other room? Can you take that into the other room, please? No. You can put that in the dog. Thank you.
I might have you have Violet make my picks on my bets this week because I guarantee she can't do worse than me. I almost guarantee if she randomly says names, it'll be better than what I got.
Yeah, and then what else? Then the following week, March 5th, Colby Covington versus Masvidal. According to Tyron Woodley, Masvidal is going to win because he has that big brother thing going for him, where he used to beat him up back in sparring, or and he thinks that because he used to beat him, he's still going to beat him because he's once you're a little brother, you can't get over that. Do you believe that?
He didn't beat him up from the footage I've seen.
What was that, Don?
That's fucking stupid.
Was there anybody?
Tyrone Woodley is a basic racist, okay? The only reason he is going for Masvidal.
All right, I heard that Woodley's a racist. I don't know why. I'm not really sure why. What makes him racist? Because he's been, I mean, based on that. All right. Well, when Don's service gets back, we will find out why he thinks Woodley is a racist. I'm good friends with Woodley. I can say for sure he's not a racist, but because he picked Masvidal. But I would love to hear Don's perspective on why you think he's a racist. Don.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
It's a joke. Just that every time, there's somebody.
Oh God!
I can't argue with that logic.
I'm done. What am I doing in my life? Like, why did I drop out of college? I'm having a. Don, I love you. I can't hear. This is like I don't know. It's one of the things. Listen, you're a legend. I am honored to have you on the show. I love talking to you every week. You're beyond funny. Your characters, whatever. You're talented. You have more movie credits than anybody I know. You've been in the best fights I've ever. I look up to you as a person, but I can't hear you. So then I keep saying what and what and what and what. And then I just can't fucking hear you. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. Sean, help me.
I think even I can only hear every other word Don's saying, it's still more entertaining than Brendan Schaub's comedy. So he should be able to put together a career just on that alone. But,
I mean, the funny part is when it's like, it actually goes bad, but you can just hear like, fucking prick, asshole, shithead, fucking, all right, partner. Oh, look. Piece of crap. Like it's just like you know what he's saying without actually it's funny if this is actually how Don talks. Like he has a perfect connection, but this is actually what he's saying. He just
that would be amazing.
Yeah, like that would all right. So Don, why is Tyron Woodley a racist?
Because he's picking the guy who's non-white. He's going with Masvidal because Masvidal's not white boy and Kobe's whitey, so the hell with the crackers.
Kobe's got a lot more to lose to this fight, though, because I mean everyone's expecting Kobe to win, and if Kobe loses, he goes down a lot. I mean, he just cut off a really close fight against what's his name against Usman. So if he loses, but Kobe's one of those guys, man. I talk to Kobe all the time. He's in the gym training 4 times a day. It's all he does think about is MMA. Like for a guy that like likes to show off this image of like I'm banging porn stars and I'm doing this and he's just doing nothing but training. So and Masvidal seems like he's not doing that. He seems like he gets out of shape. He his other interests. He's a fight promoter. He's got his bare knuckle MMA promotion. He's got some other kind of boxing thing. I just think that right now Kobe's more focused than Masvidal is. But who knows?
He's just too good of a wrestler too, man. I just don't think like if you look at he's about the same fighter as Usman, like Kobe is. And if you look at how Masvidal and Usman's fights went, they're going to see like their first fight should be similar how this one's going to look. I think Kobe will just keep taking him down, holding him down and ground and pound the entire time because it's hard to out wrestle a Division I All-American wrestler when you have no wrestling experience other than an MMA gym,
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, I would have loved to know how Ben Askren versus Masvidal would have turned out had he not landed that flying knee. I mean,
that would have been entertaining. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what would have happened. I mean, I'd like to think that Askren would have won that fight, but who knows? What do you think would have happened, Sean?
I think he'd have held him down most of the fight, but I think Masvidal would have had his moments when he scrambled, because Ben doesn't want to exchange at all standing up, so that would have given him a opportunity to throw some stuff at him without worrying about getting hit back. It's like against Usman, you apparently have to worry about getting hit back standing up, which is what Masvidal learned the hard way the second fight. I think he thought he was such a better striker, he could just tee off on him when they were standing up. But, yeah, I think Ben would have probably laid and prayed him to a decision.
So there's a thread that says Bruce Buffer said he had Chuck Liddell's back in a street fight.
Did he have or want his back? Which one did he say?
Did you hear about that or no?
I heard he wanted Chuck Liddell's back numerous times.
He said, he goes, when you start a sentence with, I was in a street fight with Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz. That's crazy. And Buffer.
I did hear. Did you hear what Buffer said that night to those guys that were when he was breaking the fight up?
What?
I heard Buffer was like, "Listen, you guys knock it off, or somebody's going to get their dick sucked tonight." And everybody's like, "Oh!" Like everybody backed off.
Really? Is that what happened? Really?
That's the rumor I heard. Yeah.
Oh, all right. I did not hear that, but that's where did you hear that, Sean?
It's just the word on the street. Dominic Cruz told me. He also had no explanation for where he was later that night. I asked Dominic Cruz where he ended up. I was like, I don't remember.
Well, okay. All right. That's I had no idea. It's crazy that being in Indiana, you hear all these things that would happen on like the street. You know, just
I keep my ear to the street or whatever.
Have you been watching Misha Tate on Celebrity Big Brother?
No, I didn't. I don't even know what that is. I mean, I know it's a reality show, but I don't know what it is.
So Misha Tate is. I heard she's doing pretty well.
It's hard to believe she could do well with the big brother there with that syndrome. I don't know.
Lamar Odom, I guess, is on it too, and he like shit the bed. I guess he's got a problem like shitting himself. I haven't seen it, but
he's on Big Brother with an A.
Yeah. Oh God, this is all right, man. I still can't believe I cannot find this fucking Don Frye versus Tito Ortiz thread. All right, next week I'm going to talk about this because I want to hear Don Frye's thoughts about this. I mean, it's not as fun as Igor Varchinian. It's way more fun to have Tito Ortiz. Now, Don, did you and Tito ever train together?
No, never did. Never did.
So, all right. What is
The train with Tito would always say the same thing. Like, man, he's better than you would think he would be. And I didn't know
really?
if that meant he was like they thought he sucked or he was a lot better than they already thought he was good. Like I never knew.
Yeah, people said that he has like gorilla strength. That he's just so strong. I mean, that's what I heard from a lot of people too. So Logan Paul started a box competition with Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're going to the professional slap boxing competition. Are you going to be watching this?
I kind of gave up the slap boxing when I saw that like people get knocked out doing it, man. Like that seems a little rough, but yeah, I don't know, man. That's I don't know. That stuff's low. They always end up in a real fight. I'll tell you what's a great sport that never caught on is where they would arm wrestle and fight MMA at the same time. That's a great sport, man.
Oh yeah, well, I call it X-arm, right?
So, yeah, and they would never actually arm wrestle. They would just start punching each other right off the bat. Like I always thought that was amazing. Like they forgot one of the integral parts of arm wrestling / MMA is that you would arm wrestle.
I mean, so they're having the slap fighting championship. I mean, next thing I know, they're going to be like masturbating with one hand and slapping. Like, I think that's like the next level. Like the slap beat, you know? Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Uriah Faber thinks Aljamain Sterling has to do something different to beat Peter Yan. Like, you think? I mean, come on, of course.
You mean faking a knee injury is not going faking an illegal blow isn't going to work this time?
Also, Mike Richmond. You know Mike the Marine Richmond? Nice guy. He was a Bellator fighter. He's now doing bare knuckle boxing. He's fighting David the Caveman Rickles in the next BKFC event. So Mike the Marine Richmond.
That's a fight that sounds like it should be on a UFC fight card. It's so star-studded. Surprised that's not the main event of the next fight night.
Yeah. So what else is going on?
Did you notice on the next pay-per-view, the Colby, what's his name, Masvidal pay-per-view, you haven't heard of one other fighter on the entire card?
That's not true. That is not true. Let me see.
I know at least the 3 of the 5 main event or whatever main card fights, I had not heard of any of the 6 people.
No, you know Bryce Mitchell.
I do. Yeah, I remember him only because he's against masks.
Yeah, him versus Edson Barboza.
Okay, so I know those 2.
Rafael Dos Anjos.
Yeah.
Versus Fazayev. You know him.
I know just Dos Anjos. I don't know the other guy.
Kevin Holland. You know Kevin Holland.
Is he the one that talks a lot during his fight?
Talks the whole time. Like,
yeah, okay.
He's fighting Alex Oliveira, the cowboy.
Oh, God. Yeah, I guess I do know those 2.
Greg Hardy.
Yep.
Against Sergei Spivak.
I don't know who that is. I just wish the UFC heavyweight division was like it is now when I was fighting.
Yeah.
Like I see these random dudes. I'm like, dude, I could beat both those guys in the same night back when I was fighting. Like, what is going on? Don did used to beat multiple people in the same night back in the day. But,
oh yeah. Well, Don can do it now. So
yeah.
I like Don. Don's. I've seen Don throw a punch, and he's quick. He's still got the speed, Don. You know that, right? I mean, not your Wi-Fi, but you definitely have. You definitely have.
They'd be trying to have Don cut to 170 nowadays. His coach would be like, dude, listen, you got to get down. Don at 170.
So March 11th, Eagle FC, Kevin Lee versus Diego Sanchez. Come on. I mean, what's going on there? Diego Sanchez is not – he's lost – what? Let me see it. Diego Sanchez has lost against Jake Matthews, Michael Pereira. He won by disqualification. That was a loss. Chiesa, beat Mickey Gall. All right, so he lost 3 in a row, 30-26, 30-26. He hasn't won a round in 3 fights.
Plus, he lost his head coach.
Don, what's going on now? Okay. He lost his head coach. Yeah. I had to mute him. So, yeah, Diego said, I mean, Kevin Lee is still a great fighter. He lost to D-Rod, but that was a pretty close fight. I mean, it wasn't close enough. He lost to Charles Oliveira, but by guillotine. He knocked out Gregor Gillespie 3 fights ago, who's one of the top guys. I mean, he lost to Rafael Dos Anjos. All right, so he's lost 5 out of 6, but he's still a really good fighter, and he's losing.
I thought he was going to be the guy to give Khabib the hardest fight back in the day when he beat who did he beat or almost beat? Was it? Oh my gosh, Tony
Ferguson.
Ferguson. Did he almost beat him or beat Tony Ferguson? Right.
He lost to Tony, but he was winning, and then he got caught in like a tie.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing that, thinking if he beat Tony Ferguson, he might give Khabib a hard time, man, because he looked good that fight.
I mean, they got to stop this fight. Honestly, this should be like that intervention show where Diego walks in and the lights go on, and everyone says, "Listen, man, you're one of the best ever. We love you, but no, you can't do this." He's making more money for this fight than he did in the UFC.
That's what's crazy, man. It's a shame. I know a lot of these promotions are burning someone's money. But if you have a promotion that's your 3rd or 4th fight and you're paying guys more than they made the UFC for their 50th fight, and the UFC has done 800 events total, like it just doesn't – yeah, man, it doesn't make sense to me. Actually, it does make sense. The people with they have a monopoly, so they've got it all locked up. But fighters need a union badly, man, like badly.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And then Ray Borg is fighting.
I can't believe it. But, like 10 different people have tried to organize a union, and none of them worked. Like, I don't know what happens. Like, they were picking up steam, and it just stopped,
I'm trying to unmute you, but I can't do it for some reason. Henan Barao is fighting. Also, he's fighting a guy who's 2-3. And Henan Barao is 34-9. At one point, he was, like, the best. Remember? Barao was, like,
right.
10. And then,
yeah, he had like a 30-fight win streak or something, right?
Yeah, and then TJ Dillashaw just wrecked him, and then that was it. And then
this is bare knuckle boxing or MMA?
No, this is MMA Eagle FC.
Oh, it's Khabib's. Okay, yeah, he's fighting a guy 2-3.
Yeah, according to MMA Junkie.
Well, that's weird.
Oh yeah, I mean, man, this Diego thing's gonna bum me out though. It's like everyone knows what's gonna happen here. If Diego beats Kevin Lee, I will be fucking shocked. Like, that might be the biggest upset of all time. I mean, at this point.
You know what's really a shame, man, is that the UFC didn't have a job of some kind for Diego Sanchez, like they did Forrest Griffin. They were paying Matt Hughes and Chuck Liddell until the new people bought it and they canned them, but they were giving them like $300, $400 a year. But it seemed like you'd be able to do something for Diego after all he's done for them, man. He's been, since 2005?
Yeah.
With them, fought 50 times or whatever it was. It's had some wars, man, and got permanent damage from that stuff, physically. And I don't know. It's just a shame that there's not something. If you look at the NBA, NFL, they always have like jobs for people like that. You know what I mean? Like a guy that put in 15 years in the NBA, they find a coaching job or something for him, public relations, something.
I think that trainer really pissed him off because he was making some claims against Dana, and then that was like, where did you find this guy and get him out of here,
Yeah.
So Mike Perry brought a bat to the press conference. You see that?
Yeah. Yeah. It ended up being plastic, which was a little bit odd.
Was that in his pants the whole time? Like, what?
Yeah, that's what when everybody freaked out. I'm like, it must have obviously been plastic or rubber because he pulled it out of his pants. Like, you're not walking around with a baseball bat in your jeans and nobody knowing. Well, I mean, I do it every day, but, you know.
Of course. By the way, I'm trying to unmute Don, and I can't. I don't know what is going on. So Masvidal says, I damn near killed the fucking broomstick, Nate Diaz. So I don't know. I wouldn't say he damn near killed him, but he did win that fight pretty handedly. They like stopped it.
I would have been interested to see how the 4th and 5th round went, though, man, because it did look like George was gassing out and Nate was starting to come on like he usually does in the 4th and 5th rounds, you know. So he was taking a pretty good beating up till then, but I think it was starting to turn, man. I
freaking love Nate Diaz, man. I'll always root for that guy. There's like
him and his brother are both awesome. I told you when I met him, I thought when I very first met him the first time, it's like 2006 maybe or 7 or whatever. I thought when I saw him coming, I'm like, I think I'm gonna get in a fight. You know what I mean? Like I may have punched one of these dudes because I thought they were gonna be assholes. They were the 2 nicest dudes I'd ever met in my life. Like came up and introduced themselves, you know, and they were well known by that point. I was nobody, and they came up and talked to me like real well known, like just the coolest dudes ever, and have been the 10 times I've seen them since. So. Yeah,
I agree. I think something about them just resonates with people, like the realness of them. You know, yeah. Nate's a good guy. I think people admire their balls too, man. Like, they never get finished, they never quit. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of beating they're taking, they're still in there. You know, it's like that's what I always admired them. I heard that Bruce Buffer admires a lot of people's balls. But when I was at that fight, who was it? It was when I was at that fight. It was Woodley versus Wonderboy 2. It was like the worst fight ever. And somebody behind me was like, "You guys suck. Fuck you. You're the worst." I look back, it's Nick Diaz yelling this, right? And then amazing. I go, "Nate, did you ever have a fight that you couldn't really get into it?" He's like, "Yeah, once in the 5th grade, some fucking kid punched me, and I couldn't get my off, and my friends made fun of me, and that was a real fight to him. Like he doesn't. Right. I think all his fights are equal. He doesn't look at like UFC fights, right. Like fights he had in the 5th grade. Like yeah. So
you add him to your record.
Honestly, I hope Don's not mad. I mean, I tried to, in like the most polite way possible, tell him that his Wi-Fi was bad, right? I mean, you think I wasn't rude, was I?
No, I don't think it's that easy to hurt Dom's feelings. I'm sure he's fine.
I know. I feel like a dick because I want to hear him, but I hear every other word, and it kind of breaks up the. But then I'm like,
I really wonder if we couldn't get him Starlink, man. That's what I've got, which my internet's not the best, but before, you remember, it was the same way for me. I couldn't get any signal, and I just got that Starlink, that Elon Musk thing, and you literally pull it out of the box, plug it in, it sets up itself, it like finds the satellites on its own. You don't have to have installed on anything. Like you just plug it in and you have internet. Yeah, and I'm rich, so I don't really look at prices too much, but I think it's only like $100 a month or $125 a month or something. It wasn't very much.
Got it. You definitely are one of the most odd people. I never understood you. Like you made $1 billion, you married, now your new wife, you don't leave the house, your back hurts, you're you're always laughing, like you always.
But I'm crying on the inside.
You always have some crazy scam going on, but it's not really a scam.
The best was when I was collecting employment from the government.
I was going to win. God.
What?
It got worse. What? How did it get worse?
I'm driving down my dirt road right now. I jumped in my truck and I'm driving down my dirt road. I got physical rehab here in about 25 minutes. In the hospital.
Is there a top?
To get off the dirt road, everything.
Yeah.
What?
Does your car have a top or no?
Have a what?
It's like a Flintstone car. I feel like it's a Flintstone.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a tank. And Don it's a tank, and Don has the hatch open and is like hanging out halfway at the top.
When was the last time you got laid?
It's a dirt road. I got a 1-ton pickup truck. I drive 1-ton dually. I'm driving on a dirt road, so it's gonna make some noise.
When was the last time you got laid, Don?
What do you mean? I got women banging at my phone at my door all the time, man. I gotta let them out. You know?
Dude, honestly, I get texts from girls that are like good looking. That are like, "Hey, is Don single?" they're like young, like in their, I mean, they're like in their 20s. I was like, damn.
They're like young.
I mean, they're young for you. You know, I mean, they're like in their 20s. You know, so.
All my saddles are older than that. Let me tell you that. Yeah.
Oh God.
My truck's older than that.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Well, listen.
I'm just glad I got to visualize Don wearing a saddle with a 20-some-year-old woman. Like, so I was just thinking like Don putting on his saddle and like, come take a ride, baby.
Don, do women have to wear a cowboy hat when they have sex with you?
They have to what?
Wear a cowboy hat?
No, I feel like they're knocking it off their head anyway, so, you know.
Yeah, sometimes women do too.
It gets flattened against the headboard, you know, shit.
Yeah, what's the craziest thing you ever had during sex a girl asked you to do?
I had several women ask me to bang them in front of their boyfriends or husbands.
Really?
Yeah, like that happened to me everywhere I went, and I would always end up telling the guy that he's gay. Because they would approach me first, and then I would come over later, and he would come on me like, "Yeah, I'd love to see you bang her," and I'm like, "Dude, you know you're gay, right? Because you've seen her naked. You obviously just want to see me naked. Like that's your motive. You know what I mean?" So did you ever do it or no? No, I'm not doing it. I'm not weird, but I'm not that weird. No, that's dude. I don't know. I have a one penis per fantasy rule with me. You know what I mean, or whatever. Like, there's not going to ever. If I was ever having sex, there's not going to be another man.
I'm the same way. Even like in porno, I can't watch a porno if there's two guys in the porno. Like,
yeah,
you know,
no.
I just don't want two dicks around me. Or any guys. One dick. My dick. That's it. Don, what about you? What was the craziest thing a girl asked you to do?
Criminy. I don't know, because what's the definition of crazy?
Like, I had a girl one time ask me to punch her in the face, and I said no. She goes,
I had some girls ask me to give her 6 inches to make it hurt, so I banged her twice and punched her in the kidney. You know?
Oh God. Oh,
the craziest thing that ever happened to Don is some girl tried to have cyber sex with him and wanted him to use his Wi-Fi. He was like, "Are you crazy?"
Dude, it's crazy. Like, I banged some girls that were Don Frye fans. They would ask me to bang them based on Don's fights. Like, one girl asked for the Takayama. She wanted to get like, you know. And the other girl asked for the James Thompson, and he fell asleep. So it was, you know, crazy. Don?
Yeah.
Nothing on that one?
Oh, are you still talking? No, what happened now?
I said I would have girls ask me for sex based on your fights. So one girl wanted like the Takayama. It was just nothing but banging. But the other girl wanted like the James Thompson, and she just fell asleep.
Great.
One girl wanted the Gilbert Idol, so
I wouldn't. You know, I'd probably rewrite that one. I'm going to try that in front of a live crowd.
I heard one girl wanted the Gilbert Idol, so you poked her in the eye and then beat up a black guy.
Yeah. I didn't. Oh, that one you like? I just figured it too hard. So.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, listen, that's our podcast. Don, you're the best. We're gonna send you this thing. What's it called? Starlink.
Yeah, Elon Musk.
Starlink.
It's amazing.
You get Wi-Fi in your house. It's amazing. It's all
Okay.
and it actually works. So.
Okay. Do I have to have electricity?
Yes, you have to have electricity, but you're good. You're good with this.
Oh.
He will have to make sure the windmill's in working order.
All right. Well, listen, you guys are the best. I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Take care.
See you, man.